Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. It's me, Jack, the other host. Now, if you've ever had jalapeno poppers, or if you've made them at home, you specifically know how much of a pain in the butt they are to make. Breading them takes forever. The breading sometimes falls off when you deep fry them. It's a nightmare. But there's a way around this. It's to make a jalapeno popper dip, and that's what we're going to be doing today. It's going to be great. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, for primary ingredients, we have sour cream. We're going to use 8 ounces or 1 cup. We have some cream cheese. I'm going to use 10 ounces, so I have a little bit extra back here. You can get away with just using 8 if you want. I have numerous jalapenos. We're going to chop these up real good. I have some cilantro for garnishment. You could use parsley or whatever, but I like cilantro. We're going to use panko breadcrumbs for the top. We're going to give it some crunchy texture. And we're going to use Mexican blend and Parmesan cheese as some filler with cream cheese and sour cream. Okay, so seeing how jalapenos are a major part of this, and since it's been a while since I showed you, and maybe you might not be aware of how to do this, to cut jalapenos, or at least the way I do it, I cut the stem off, and then I slice down the middle. Now after you go ahead and cut it like this, you can scoop the insides out with a spoon if you want it to be a little bit less spicy. So for demonstration purposes, I got a clear bag, and I'm going to go ahead and scoop the inside out into it. A lot less cleanup if you do it this way, rather than straight on the counter. Make sure to do it again, just so you can see. And there you go. And if you want, make sure you get all the seeds out. And at this point, I just make several lengthwise slices. And this isn't perfect. This is just a rough demonstration of how to do it. And at this point, I just proceed to make small slices in my peppers until they're nice and finely chopped. So yeah, here you go. And that's how I do my jalapenos. And yeah, just cut it like that. In a couple minutes, you'll have a bowl full of jalapenos. And as soon as you're done and you got all your cutting board and your knife put away, wash your hands. That'll be like one of the first things you do is wash your hands when you're done with this, because you're going to hate yourself later if you don't. And here's another tip involving cream cheese. If you need to soften it for a recipe or anything, go ahead and put it in a bag and then submerge it in some cool water, just like if you're going to thaw out some hot dogs. And every like 5 or so minutes, come and turn it over so it'll thaw out on both sides. After about 15-20 minutes, go ahead and take it out. It's probably going to be soft enough by then. Heck, even by 10 minutes, it's probably going to be soft enough. So you need to get a large mixing bowl. And you're going to need preferably a mixer. If you don't have a mixer, you could do it all by hand with a fork. It's going to take a while. You might wear yourself out, but a mixer would help. And we're going to go ahead and put all 8 ounces of our sour cream in our bowl. We're going to try and get as much of it as we can. Alright. And next, we're going to get our cream cheese, and we're going to put 8 ounces in it. I was going to use 10, then I checked the expiration date of my other 2 ounces, and it's no good. Ideally, you want to get as much of this as possible, so I'm going to do that off camera. I scraped off the rest of the cream cheese. It did make a difference, so be sure to get all of it. Next, we're going to go ahead and add some garlic powder. We're going to add a little bit. We're not going to go too heavy with it. And then we're going to start mixing. We're going to mix it until it's fluffy. At this point, we're going to go ahead and add our 2 cups of Mexican blend cheese, our 3/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, and about 8 ounces. I don't really know how many jalapenos this is. I just cut up like 7 of them. We're going to add that. I'm going to not add the whole batch. And then we're going to mix. If you get some flying out of your bowl, don't worry about it. Just be sure to clean up afterwards. At this point, we need to transfer this into an 8x8 inch baking sheet. Now we need to transfer everything over to our baking sheet. It's not really too difficult. Just find a way to scoop it out into it. I have a bigger one of these, but it went missing. I'm not sure where it went. These silicone spatulas are very useful for this kind of thing, especially for scraping out the inside of bowls. It doesn't have to be perfect. It'll even out when the cheese starts to melt. but ideally we don't want waves and mountains. All right, it is flat. Let's go ahead and zoom in. This is the texture that we're looking at. All right, now we have another step. We're gonna go ahead and set this aside, and we're going to start working on the crust. So this is 4 tablespoons of butter that I melted using double boiler technique. We're gonna go ahead and add our breadcrumbs to the melted butter. We're gonna stir it up. If we need to, you could use more butter. I don't really want to go heavier than 4 tablespoons worth. And then next, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese grated to it. Try not to get it all over your counter. Ideally, use a bigger bowl. I just went ahead and used it in whatever I was using to do the double boiling, but I guess I should have transferred the butter to something larger. Hindsight is 20/20 though. Okay, so once you have your crust thoroughly mixed, we're gonna go ahead and sprinkle it on top of our dip. So here's our dip once again, and we're gonna go ahead and start sprinkling the breadcrumb crust all over it. So after you finish putting your breadcrumbs on, we're gonna go ahead and set the oven for 375, and we're gonna bake it for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until hot and the breadcrumbs are a golden brown color. Okay, and here you are after 20 minutes of baking and about 2 minutes in the broiler. If you put it in the broiler, watch it. It will burn real fast on top. And of course, as soon as I hit the record button, the AC kicks on. Additional noise. So we're gonna go ahead and try it out. I got it made here. It's really gooey. Now let's get some on a chip. You can also do some bread and crackers. That seems to be very common as well. But I'm more of a tortilla chip kind of person when it comes to the dip. So here we go. I don't know if it'll focus. No, it's not gonna focus. Whatever. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. Crunch warning right now, by the way. So yeah, that tastes exactly like what you'd expect a jalapeno popper to taste like. It's really good. Now, some additional stuff is you could add some chopped bacon to this. I left the bacon out. It would drive the price up a whole bunch unless you can get it on sale. And it's extra steps, and it's 1 in the morning right now. Let's go ahead and try some more. Now, it's really flavorful. You can probably add some extra seasonings if you want. All I added was some garlic. Let me see. Maybe some like fresh onions, possibly, but this is jalapeno poppers. You don't want to go too heavy on things you don't normally put in that. That's good. I meant to say crunch warning before I ate that. Oh, well, anyway, thanks for going and giving me your time and watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is really good stuff. You can catch us Tuesdays and Fridays most of the time. Occasionally you'll miss a day. Life is very busy. But thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time.